Welcome to the freshest Cryptoverse updates. I'm your host, Corbin Fraser, and today we are diving into the top players, Bitcoin and Ethereum. We'll break down what's on the end of Q3 horizon and give you some bold predictions for Q4. We'll also check in on some old school coins and what they're up to these days before taking a look at the hottest new hub that may help drive the future of crypto. But first, we are going to dive into the curious case of Pavel Durov. So following on from last week's report about the arrest of Telegram founder Pavel Durov in France, we have an interesting update, which is the United Nations is flagging the arrest as a potential human rights issue. A spokesperson from the UN Human Rights Office stated, "This is a very complex case. It raises a lot of human rights concerns." The UN is also urging fair play when it comes to regulating social media, stressing that any crackdown should be legal and proportional. In related free speech news, the Brazilian Supreme Court hit X with a nationwide ban after the social media platform ignored orders to appoint a local representative. Anyone caught using a VPN to sneak around the block could face fines up to $9,000 per day. X owner Elon Musk isn't exactly happy, saying that Brazil likes to, quote, wear the cloak of free democracy while crushing people under its boot. But Brazil's president is backing the court, saying, quote, just because you have money doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. You have to accept the rules of the country and respect the Supreme Court's decision. Tanzania has also restricted access to X following unrest in the East African nation. Interestingly, the government last year considered introducing a mandatory license for VPN usage, but that didn't go through, and Tanzanians have reportedly resorted to using VPNs to get around the ban, as well as access X. So folks, given everything that's been unfolding over the past few months, as a crypto connoisseur, you might be wondering, well, doesn't blockchain fix this? Isn't crypto supposed to fix all of these problems? And the answer in theory is yes. There are budding social media platforms with varying levels of decentralization, and there are even proposals for ways to build VPNs on blockchains, which would make them much harder for nation states to regulate or block. But it's all still very much early in these stages. But if you care about free speech, now might be the time to start exploring alternative platforms such as things like Farcast or Lens or even Favor. So go check those out if you're a free speech absolutist. Switching gears to the overall crypto market sentiment, Bitfinex analysts think Bitcoin might take a nosedive to the low 50K or mid 40Ks when the Fed cuts interest rates this month. So they're predicting a 15 to 20% drop based on past patterns of rate cuts combined with Bitcoin's September shenanigans. Historically, September isn't exactly Bitcoin's best month, with most Septembers being quite red for the big orange coin. But co-founder and former CEO of BitMEX, Arthur Hayes, is super excited about Bitcoin's future thanks to the central banks chopping up interest rates. He's convinced that the more the Fed, the Bank of England, the ECB cut rates, the more money will flow into the system, pushing up inflation. Hayes said, quote, they will ramp up the money printer and dramatically increase the money supply. That leads to inflation, which could be bad for certain types of businesses, but for assets in finite supply like Bitcoin, it will provide a trip at light speed to the moon. Interesting prediction. We're going to move over to Ethereum. So number 2 spot, Ethereum is still the big boss when it comes to DeFi, holding 57% of the $82.2 billion total value currently locked. Tron and Solana are in a distant second and third place with about 10% and 5% respectively. As for Bitcoin, it's way behind at 15th place with a modest $518 million, or less than 1% of all assets locked in DeFi protocols. So interesting stuff. Ethereum's still the big dog when it comes to DeFi. Lots of cool stuff still happening there. As mentioned a few weeks back, Ethereum's gas fees have plummeted, with most transactions on mainnet now costing less than $1. So over the weekend, you could even send ETH for just 74 cents. And even the high priority fees are barely above a gwei. So, here's the twist though. While fees are low, Ethereum's actually turning a bit inflationary, so growing at 0.73% per year. So thanks to the Denkin upgrade, fees dropped, but that also means, less ETH getting burned. So cheap transactions, yes. Deflationary ETH, not so much anymore, which is kind of a kind of a tough one, especially when you start looking into, things such as the ultrasound money meme. So we're going to go a bit technical, and Mark O'Dayan from 2077 Research is calling out the hype around Ethereum's previous EIP 1559 update, saying it's not the magic bullet for making ETH ultrasound money. According to O'Dayan, people have got it twisted. EIP 1559 was designed to smooth out transaction fees, not to turn Ethereum into some deflationary superhero. So while burning ETH with every transaction is cool, O'Dayan suggests we focus on the bigger picture of Ethereum's tech evolution and its long-term goals. Personally, I like the ultrasound money meme, but hey, what do I know? Let's look for a moment at another smart contract platform, Cardano, which recently completed a hard fork that upgraded its blockchain to include on-chain governance. So Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson is fired up, saying Cardano's new on-chain governance makes it, quote, one of the greatest technical achievements in human history. He even claimed this dwarfs Bitcoin. It's unique, and books will be written about what has happened. So what do you think, folks? Is Cardano the chain long derided for having no users, in fact, the future of blockchain? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. So now over to Dash. Remember Dash? If you don't, here's a quick recap. So Dash, it was previously known as Xcoin, and then it was known as Darkcoin, and it forked from Bitcoin back in 2014. It had a brief moment in the sun back in 2017. It was, quite happening there. It was the future of peer-to-peer cash for a little while there, but has since languished well outside the top 100 cryptos by market cap. So Dash is dropping its Evolution platform that integrates blockchain usernames, contact lists, and all the goodies for building decentralized apps. So it also has new features like validator nodes and decentralized storage, and it's the biggest thing since Dash itself, setting the stage for future tokens and smart contracts. So curious what you guys think. Is Dash ready to make a comeback? Let us know. Moving on, we've got over to another OG. Binance is hyped about blockchain's potential to shake up cross-border payments, cutting costs and speeding up transactions. Their research suggests the blockchain could at long last fulfill its promise to ditch the middlemen in payments, making them smoother and cheaper. So while there are still hurdles like scalability and regulations, the report hints that blockchain might soon take the driver's seat in global finance. Switching gears to the age-old question of Bitcoin's impact on the environment, a new study suggests that Bitcoin mining might be the unlikely hero in fighting methane emissions. Researchers are proposing fusing a landfill gas-to-energy system to power Bitcoin mining rigs, turning trash into treasure by reducing greenhouse gases and making some extra cash on the side. So quite interesting stuff, turning that garbage into the Bitcoins. Cool stuff. Moving on, over the summer, we brought you some up-and-coming crypto tech hubs in the UAE as well as Saudi Arabia. So today, let's take a look at what's going on in Qatar. So Qatar is diving headfirst into the crypto scene with a new 2024 digital assets framework, aiming to create a secure and transparent playground for digital assets. The plan? Attract big players, both local and internationally, turn Qatar into a financial services powerhouse. So they've already got startups lining up to test the waters. So it looks like Qatar is serious about making some pretty interesting crypto waves. So one we'll be keeping a close eye on over here at Bitcoin.com news. And for our last story of the week, we have an exciting announcement from Hypernative. Hypernative just bagged $16 million in Series A funding to turbocharge its Web3 security game with some AI muscle, with new backers like QuantStamp, Blockcelerate VC, Bold Start Ventures, Borderless Capital, and CMT Digital. They're all set to beef up their threat detection system, which has reportedly blocked 99.5% of attacks. They're on a mission to make Web3 safer and sounder for top projects such as Balancer, Chainlink, and Uniswap. So time to make those Web3 hacks a relic of the past. And that's a wrap on this week's Cryptoverse journey, guys. Before I let you go, be sure to check out Bitcoin.com's Verse token airdrop, which is just about to end claiming for Season 1. Check your eligibility in the Bitcoin.com wallet app or on verse.bitcoin.com, and stay tuned for details on Season 2 of our airdrop program. There are rewards aplenty to come. And thanks for tuning in. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you're always in the loop and the latest and the greatest on all this fun stuff in Bitcoin and this fast-changing space. So stay sharp, keep those wallets secure, and until next time, see you guys later.